Welcome. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our presentation about the machining of stator housings on our machines. My name is Thomas Schmitt. I've been working as a project engineer at SW for a few years now. The automobile industry is always changing. New technologies are constantly entering the market. For example, hybrid motors or just electric vehicles in general. SW has faced and continues to face the challenges that come along with new technologies. Today, our topic is the stator housing, which is an important component for electric vehicles. We're going to differentiate between two different types of stator housings. First of all, there's a direct drive. That means the electric motor, the drive shaft, is connected directly to the wheels and brings that power onto the road. Secondly, there's the stator housing with two gears. That means that there's a gearbox attached to it. This is beneficial because the RPM of the electric motor can be reduced when driving at high speeds, resulting in energy conservation. Furthermore, efficiency of an electric motor is going to be at its best in a certain speed range in terms of RPM. Therefore, we make the whole thing more efficient with the attached gearbox. Our motto here at SW is "We think systems." That means that all SW employees are a team and we see the processes that comprise the whole. SW develops proven technology further and develops entirely new machines in order to meet the constantly rising challenges. I would like to address the challenges of stator housings in detail. What challenges do we have there? We have a very big diameter that needs to be machined and then later built into a stator. They are often very thin-walled or prone to vibrations, which makes it harder to machine the whole component. We have a big challenge with roundness in cylinder shapes, but also in the shape and bearing tolerance of the component in general. What's important for the customer? Customers want process reliability. Customers want a stable process. Customers need a high dynamic. That means processing the most workpieces in the least amount of time. This is where our chip-to-chip time really stands out. Most importantly, our customers want a low cost per part. Why should the customer choose SW? As you can see next to me, SW has a remarkable design, but I don't think that any customer is going to install a machine in their plant hall just because it looks good. Of course, what's inside the machine is what really matters. This machine is ideal for the machining of stator housings. This is the BA-W0622. BA means machining center in German. W indicates that it's equipped with a linear drive. That means that the machine doesn't have ball screw drives, so it's very dynamic, maintenance-free, and will have a long life. The first two signifies that the machine has two spindles. That means that two parts can be machined simultaneously. This keeps the cost per part low. The second two means that there are two work tables. The machining takes place on the inside. The raw parts can be clamped on the outer table, parallel to the machining time. Now, what distinguishes this machine and how does the customer profit? The machine is remarkably rigid, has a high dynamic and flexibility in the axes, which means that you can adjust the x-axis. In addition, it has two independent z-axes to keep the critical machining separate from each other, or you can easily compensate for irregularities in the tools. Now let's get to selecting the right option. Specifically for stator housings, we developed the HSK 100 light spindle. Light doesn't mean that it's small or somehow not as impressive. It's very dynamic and has a slender form, but is still capable of accepting large tool tapers in order to anchor the tool in the spindle as well as possible. The other great benefit of the HSK 100 light spindle is that the rear bearing can be hydraulically clamped, providing even more rigidity into the spindle. This is a great advantage. Furthermore, it maintains its high level of performance while machining critical operations for large diameters. This is another big advantage of the HSK 100 light spindle in this machine. Another important element for the machining of stator housings is the clamping concept, of course. We design and mount clamping fixtures right here in our own facility. We have years of experience in the design and production of clamping devices, with over 1,000 projects implemented. These numbers speak for themselves. For clamping devices, the repeated accuracy for the component orientation is of vital importance. Oftentimes, the customer will have drawings of how the part must be clamped. If this isn't the case, SW will develop the best possible clamping concept with you as the user. A further challenge in machining stator housings is that the large components are very thin-walled and therefore can be prone to vibrations. It is therefore important to support the component in the clamping device at different points to prevent vibrating. Vibrating impacts the service life of the tool and is of course detrimental to achieving the form and positional tolerance for stator housings. Of course, another important element is the machining tool. For years, SW has been working with the leading tool manufacturers to guarantee the best possible performance for the machining of stator housings. First of all, you need a very strong pre-machining tool to machine the large diameter of the stator housing. Stator housings are mostly made of aluminum die castings. Due to beveling, you have to machine a lot of material in the lower area, where you need a lot of machining force. It's important to choose the right cutting materials as well as the cutting distribution on the tools. We work with the tool manufacturer on this. For the final machining of stator housings, with the special roundness and cylindricity challenges, we use a reamer with one edge and a guide bar. Here, the right cutting material, mostly PCD, is very important to provide the highest quality. The typical form and positioning tolerances requested for stator housings can be reached with a CMK capability greater than 1.67. Furthermore, SW doesn't just manufacture machining centers, but we also provide automation solutions. That means, in order to continue increasing the productivity of our customers, you can get everything from SW as a single source provider. We have many automation solutions in our portfolio, one of which is our top rob solution. We call it top rob because the robot is on a rail. The robot is in front of the machine and can reach into the machine to load and unload parts from above. Attached is a workpiece storage tower where the raw and finished parts can be stored. Another machine can be placed across from the first machine and can be loaded and unloaded by the same robot. That is a small cell perfectly suited for projects with small and moderate production numbers. You can set up a second cell next to it and double the part quantities produced per year. The same solution is also available as the floor rob. This means that the robot is mounted on the ground in front of the machine. The system is the same, but in this case you need a safety fence. You don't have the same space around the machine that you would have with the top rob, but that is up to the preferences of the customer. They're going to decide what the best solution is for them. We can also incorporate a workpiece storage tower, like I mentioned with the top rob. Of course, the finished parts can also be placed on a conveyor to carry them to the next production process. Additionally, for large production numbers, we have a portal solution. The robot is above the machine and can travel along a track. You can link 2, 4, 6, or even more machines with the same automation. The system is modular and expandable, which provides customers the flexibility to start with small part quantities and increase their numbers over the years. And of course, you can also add multiple robots on one portal. SW is also a system supplier. The time when we only offered machines is long gone. We now deliver complete manufacturing systems. This means, for example, that we can integrate downstream systems like washing, leak testing, or assembly cells. Of course, we can also integrate system components provided by customers. No matter if you have your own washer, leak tester, or whatever your process requires, we can integrate them into the system. What else does SW have to offer? The SW Life Services. One service within the SW Life Cycle is our Academy, where we can train your employees and help prepare them to best operate your new SW machine. The second is SW Startup. We can provide production support to our customers during the startup phase of their new machines to begin production efficiently. Next is SW Life Help. If an SW machine breaks, which rarely happens, you can reach us 24/7. We can provide help quickly at any time. We also have Life Parts. We can deliver spare parts globally. We have set up a system worldwide so we can deliver spare parts quickly and inexpensively to any location in the world. There's also Life Data. This means that the machine is connected in a cloud. A variety of data is collected, which can then be analyzed and provide a transparent insight to improve your processes. We can use the data to see how the machines are running and make sure that they're optimally productive and performing as needed. Another service is Life Upgrade. Should you stop making a part on your machine, it can be converted into a new product. For example, you can choose to add a fifth axis or whatever else might be needed. SW Life Upgrade also retrofits. This means that if your machine starts getting a little old, no problem. We will bring it up to date again for years to come so it can continue doing its job as well as ever. Today, we spoke mainly about the machining of Stator Housings and about this machine that you see next to me. That is the new BA-W0622, as I said. But we have a lot of different machines in our portfolio for every application. If you are interested in this machine or any of the others from our portfolio, you're welcome to get in touch with us at any time. We look forward to your inquiries. I would like to thank you again for your attention. Feel free to contact us. We're happy to process your requests.